It's very nice to be out of touch from everything. That is probably the nicest bit about this place.
Well, that's good, thank you.
You're miles away from everybody, miles away from everything. The people out here, the last thing they want to worry about is, who's that? And walk around without actually people going, oh.
But Harry's fantasy couldn't last for long, and the story leaked to the foreign media.
At 6 o'clock, over and out, Prince Harry's time on the front line in Afghanistan comes to an abrupt end. He's heading home after his deployment was leaked, threatening his safety and that of his colleagues.
The Prince was furious at being forced home 10 weeks into a posting he'd long sought.
It doesn't surprise me that once again it comes down to media, foreign media, that's once again spilled the beans. So yeah, it's a shame, but it's to be expected, I guess.
After his cover had been blown, it looked like the end of Harry's career on the front line. But the army quickly came up with a new plan which would enable him to return to Afghanistan. Harry was to retrain as an attack helicopter pilot alongside his brother, who was learning to fly helicopters for the RAF. The press, as always, were hot on his heels.
Was it made pretty clear to you after the last time in Afghanistan that it would be your first and last time, that it was too risky for you to go back as a soldier?
More the fact that I think the media had said that they would never keep their mouths shut if I went into the same job, so I'd have to do something different if I wanted to go, yes. To get out to Afghanistan again would be fantastic, and my best chance is to be a helicopter, is to do it from a helicopter. And
you got off the ground yet?
Sorry?
You got off the ground yet?
I've just got off the ground, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. Thanks for asking.
Prince Harry in Afghanistan is one thing, but as the future king, could Prince William ever be deployed to the front line?
I didn't join the forces to be mollycoddled or treated any different, and as far as I'm concerned, in my eyes, if Harry can do it, then I can do it. I think as a future head of the armed forces, it's really important that I at least get the opportunity to be credible and to do the job that I signed up for.
William may be the future head of the armed forces, but as the heir to the throne, he's unlikely to ever be placed in as much danger as Harry.
I think he's definitely got more brains than me. I think we've established that from school, but when it comes to all that, I think I'm much better hands-on.
And when are you flying solo?
Boldness, sorry?
When are you flying solo?
And when I'm flying solo, when I'm ready.
And he was ready last summer. 4.5 years after his last tour to Afghanistan, Harry's made it back. Despite all the media attention, he's once again serving on the front line. This time, 2,000 feet above it. The deal the army chiefs came up with was to base Harry in the relative safety of Camp Bastion. It was an environment they had total control over. No enemies, no press, and they believed secure. Flying Apaches in and out of combat areas is undoubtedly dangerous, but the risk of Harry actually being identified in the cockpit was thought to be minimal.
If this is the only way that I can do it, getting back out to Afghanistan, then so be it. My choice would have been back out on the ground with my regiment. It sounds quite a sport when I'm standing in front of this thing, £45 million worth. But yeah, I think hopefully my friends and family back home know exactly what I'm talking about.
Though delighted to be back in Afghanistan, Harry cannot disguise his disappointment at not being back out on the front line with ground troops.
The last job was for me personally better. It's a weird reality being stuck in Bastion. For me, I hate it being stuck here.